Assalamu alaikum. Today we shall discuss reliability and validity of measure or measurement. Measure refers to the concepts and questions on these concepts, and concepts are used both as variables and their attributes. We have discussed the word concept and its types in our previous videos on the research methodology. Here it simply refers to the terminologies which are used as variables as well as their attributes which are converted into questions. And all this happens only in that kind of social research where positivism is followed, which suggests to use statistical tools and techniques. Therefore, statistical data is collected in the form of numerical data, and then the questions of reliability and validity become critical, and the researchers, they have to compute the related scores of reliability and validity as per instructions of the statisticians or the researchers. Reliability and validity evaluate the quality of research by confirming required scores on reliability and validity for the method used to measure a phenomena, or in other words, a concept. Reliability is about the consistency of a measure, and validity is its accuracy. So for the time being, we should keep these two words in our mind, that reliability refers to the consistency of the measure, consistently giving the similar results, and validity refers to the accuracy of the measure or accuracy of the results computed through a test or computed by a particular concept. Reliability and validity are critical when creating research design. It means that for the students or the research scholars, they should be clear that they have to talk about the reliability and validity, and they have to provide some evidence about the reliability and validity of their own research at the time when they are preparing the research design, when they are deciding about the methods that will be used for data collection and analysis, and documenting the findings, especially in quantitative research. So, the reliability and validity are the critical issues for the social researchers when they are using quantitative data as a tool for answering their research questions. For this purpose, in reliability, we will talk about Cronbach alpha, discuss it, and then implement it on a sample data matrix to compute the reliability scores using Cronbach alpha test available in SPSS. And then we will move towards what is validity and what are its types, and how can a social researcher use it for checking or confirming the validity of his or her measures, concepts, or the tools used for collecting answers to the research questions. So validity of data collected and reliability of the measure are the critical issues for every social researcher, and it is confirmed before conducting any kind of analysis. So let's start with reliability. Reliability is the trust on someone or something for the achievement of the same objectives repeatedly over and over. Actually, reliability simply refers to the trust of a person on something or someone, in the sense that objectives achieved from that someone or something, they are continuously achieved over and over, thereby we are in a position to say that the person or the thing we are referring to are reliable. For example, when our bike, car, pen, laptop, etc. are doing their job over a long period of time, they can be trusted for their reliability. Likewise, when the concepts, questions, questionnaire, and methods are bringing answers to the same questions with similar understanding, they are reliable. More precisely, reliability is the repeatability of the respondent's similar response to the same concepts and questions. So, reliability refers to whether or not the concepts or measurements that are used to record the answers of the respondents, whether they are understood by every respondent with the same meaning, so that they give answers to the same questions which other respondents are giving. So, consistency, repeatability or consistency is the second word to remember what do we mean by reliability of the measure or reliability of the concepts which are used to measure the numerical data. There are some types or measures of reliability. These are both types as well as measures in the sense that the researchers can use all of them or some of them as the measure of reliability for their data. First is test, retest reliability. Now in this type, the consistency across time, meaning that the same questionnaire is used to collect data with gaps of time after a week or after 15 days, and if the results are similar, then the questionnaire will be called or the instrument will be called as reliable. The consistency across time, getting similar results from repeating the measurement. For example, a group fills a questionnaire on personality traits. If the questionnaire is repeated after weeks or months and the same answers are received, there is high test, retest reliability. Inter-rater reliability. It is more simple than the above one. The consistency across raters. For example, using an assessment criteria checklist that how to examine a particular paper, that is called assessment criteria checklist. 4 examiners, for example, give significantly different results for the same paper. It shows that there is low inter-rater reliability of the checklist. The checklist has low inter-rater reliability because it is understood by every examiner differently. And the third one and very critical type of reliability is internal consistency. That is the consistency of the measure within the measure, getting same results from different sections of a data set. For example, the results of a questionnaire on authentic leadership is randomly split into 2 halves. For example, if the sample is 100, then we create 2 files of 50-50, and then the results of these 2 files are correlated. There should be a strong correlation between the 2 sets. If the results are that different, this indicates low internal consistency. If the results are different, this indicates low internal consistency. So, to measure the reliability statistics or to learn how to compute reliability statistics, let's go to SPSS and then we shall come back with the results. Using this criteria, we shall decide whether or not the reliability statistics we have computed from our sample database, whether it is falling within the required score or not. So let's move to the SPSS. For example, we have this data matrix which contains data about 354 respondents, and the variables in this questionnaire were about the authentic leadership, employee motivation. Authentic leadership is the independent variable and the employee motivation was the dependent variable. While these two, distributive justice and relational justice, these two were used as the mediators. So we are not concerned with this at that moment. Let's go for computing the reliability of these four variables along with their items or questions. In analyze, we will select the scale and reliability analysis, and then we have to pass on all the questions related to the variable 1, that is authentic leadership. We have used 8 questions for every variable, so 8 questions will be selected and transferred to the items box, and OK. The result is 0.776 and the number of items is 8. Likewise, the second variable, click reset, and then we shall take next 8 items or 8 questions to 16, enter and OK. Again here we can see that the number of items 8 and the Cronbach alpha is 0.684, and in this way we shall keep on going till the last 4th variable, and finally we have to check the reliability of the whole questionnaire at the same time. So reset, and we shall hand over all the 32 questions about 4 variables, 8 questions per variable, into the items box and click OK. And here we see that 32 items are 32 questions. They have got Cronbach alpha score of 0.916. I have placed all these 5 results, 4 variables and 1 questionnaire onto the slideshow. Let's go there and discuss them, that whether or not the score is within range, whether or not the score is giving us the message that the measure which have been used to collect data and prepare this data matrix is reliable or not. So let's go back to the SPSS. We left this screen for computing reliability statistics, and we did it using the Cronbach alpha as the measure of reliability, and got some results about 4 variables and the questionnaire. So let's place those results onto the slideshow. Here are the 5 results, 4 of the variables and the last one is with 32 items, the result of questionnaire. As we have already said that the variable 1 is authentic leadership, second is about employee motivation, third is distributive justice, relational justice is the 4th variable, and the whole instrument or the questionnaire, it is with 32 items. Now let's see whether or not our results are reliable, and the required scores as suggested by different statisticians or researchers are that the minimum score of reliability through Cronbach alpha test will be 0.8, while others suggest 0.7, while there are researchers or the scholars or the people working on the statistics who suggest that 0.6 is enough and it shows workable reliability of the measure. So We can see that our first variable has 0.776, which is beyond 0.7, the middle score. Cronbach alpha of the second variable is 0.684, which is close to 7. However, 0.68 is also acceptable. And the third variable, distributive justice, it has got 0.765, which is enough. And the last variable of relational justice, the Cronbach score is 0.679. However, overall score of the questionnaire with N32 items, it is 0.916, which is big enough and crosses even the strictest and the hardcore score of 0.8. So we can decide and declare that the reliability statistics of the sample data matrix is acceptable, and we have proved its reliability through applying Cronbach alpha as a test and got the score which is within range. Now let's have some talk about the validity, or as we have defined it, the accuracy of data, and the application of measures or tools to compute the validity of our measure. Validity refers to how accurately a method measures what it is intended to measure. Research with high validity means the results correspond to real attributes and variations in the physical or social world, meaning that if the results are valid, they are telling the true and the real story of the situation they have observed. High reliability is one indicator that a measurement is valid. It means that if a method is not reliable, it probably isn't valid. A test is designed to measure emotional awareness. That is an example, that a test which was designed to measure emotional awareness, the results are reliable as per the tests of reliability, but the scores correlate strongly with their level of emotional regulation, a second variable. So if there is high correlation between the emotional intelligence and emotional regulation, then it is called collinearity, and it means that it shows that the test has low validity as it has measured emotional regulation instead of emotional awareness. There are several types of validity, or several dimensions of validity, which has been discussed by the experts and researchers. Most commonly discussed are the construct validity, content validity, criterion validity, and then internal and external validity. We should keep in our mind that when we say validity, it means accuracy of the measure, accuracy of the questions and the questionnaire, meaning that whatever data is coming in, whatever answers are collected, whether they are exactly the same thing we were asking for. So now let's start with construct validity. Construct validity means that whether or not the concept or the terminology we are using, it is connected with the existing theory and knowledge or not. Is it something which already has some connections with the existing body of knowledge? The example will be that a questionnaire about social emotional intelligence could be assessed by measuring other traits known or assumed as related to the social emotional intelligence, like personal emotional intelligence. Meaning that construct validity actually refers to the ability of a concept that it must be connected with the existing and related concepts in the existing knowledge. The next is content validity. It is very simple and it refers to the fact that whether the concept or the question is covering all the aspects of that particular concept or not. For example, a questionnaire on job satisfaction includes all variables like work, salary, supervisor, promotion, and environment, but forgets co-workers. The measure has low content validity because it has limited contents and it has to be with complete contents because information is defined as something which is accurate as well as complete. So if the set of questions measuring a particular concept they lack or they are missing one or two attributes of the variable, it will be a question of content validity. Next is the criterion validity. The criterion validity refers to the results of a measure resemble to other measures of same concept. Criterion validity simply refers to the practice that if two different tools or tests are used to measure the same thing, if the results are similar, then the measure has the criterion validity. Like cycle and motorcycle, bike or motorbike, they have the similar purposes and they can give similar results with high and low speed. So there is a kind of criterion validity in both the bike and motorbike. Further, internal validity and external validity refer to internal validity is the design of the study, how the study is designed, how the questionnaire is developed, how the attributes and the variables they are selected. So internally, if they are logically designed, then there is internal validity. External validity means whether or not the results collected through the use of a questionnaire and sample will be usable to explain and talk about the parameters of the population, whether the results will be generalizable. So validity of measure is the second criteria which must be fulfilled by every social researcher using quantitative data as a supplementary aspect of the social research. In our next video, we shall talk about the principal component analysis or factor analysis to compute the validity statistics. As in this video we have computed the statistics of reliability using a sample data matrix and demonstrated to the listeners and the learners that how can they compute the reliability scores for their own data matrix, variable, questions and the questionnaire. In our next video, we shall further discuss the factor analysis as a tool for getting scores on the validity of our data. So thanks for listening and see you in the next video.